Hello friends, welcome to this educational blog. So today I am going to discuss some general knowledge based questions on G20 Summit that happened in India recently in 2023 September. So delegates of 20 countries who are members of G20 Summit, delegates like 43 delegates of 20 countries who are members of summit G20 Summit, they gathered together, which related to fraternity of finance ministers, central bank governors, politicians, prime ministers, presidencies, then big traders and then economists, magnificent traders. So they all gathered together in this G20 Summit, and it was held in India. So within there are some agendas that have been taken care of, that have been addressed in the summit, like agenda number 1, bank reform development, finance economic development of developing countries, reform of urban infrastructure, then debt vulnerabilities of low and middle income countries. So basically sustainable development and developing like development of developing countries. So Bharat's finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman had hold the meeting of finance ministers of G20 countries and governors of central banks. So delegations have shown interest in the agendas which are set by India. There are 43 delegates from all over 20 countries of the summit who are members of it. So let's discuss some questions, general knowledge questions based on it. So first is, when was G20 established? So G20, which group of 20 countries, this G20 Summit concept was established in 1999, and it aimed to bring together finance ministers and central bank governors of developed and developing countries for reform and development of developed and developing countries. Question second, what is the aim of establishing G20? So its aim was that its meeting had to be held annually, and this meeting is to be attended by all the delegates of 20 countries who are members of G20, to eliminate poverty from the world, to promote financial stability and sustainable development in the world. So basically the answer is not related to these two, but yes, to promote financial stability and sustainable development in the world, to promote financial stability and sustainable development in the world. Now so what is the theme of G20 Summit that happened in India recently? So its theme is One Earth, One Family, One Future, which is based on Vasudev Kutumbakam, which meant one earth, one family, one future. Then where was the first summit of G20 held? So first summit of G20 held was in Washington, that is United States of America. So which country will host G20 Summit in 2024? So in 2024, Brazil will host G20, and in 2025, it will be South Africa. Prime Minister of India, Bharat, transferred the G20 presidency to which leader of country? So this presidency was transferred to Lula da Silva, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who is the president of Brazil, and next summit, G20 Summit, is going to happen in Brazil. So Yeah. Okay, so now, which countries are the members of G20? So there are 20 members of G20 Summit. Australia, Brazil, France, Italy, South Africa, India, Bharat, Mexico, the United Kingdom, Argentina, Germany, Republic of Korea, European Union, China, Indonesia, Russia, USA, United States of America, Canada, Japan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. So next is where is the headquarters of G20? So G20 does not have any headquarters. The G20 does not have any headquarters, and its presidencies changes every year. So according to it, it is headquartered. It does not have any fixed permanent headquartered. Its presidencies change every year, country to country. Who are the members of G20? What is the official language of G20 Summit? So official language, there are options: English, French, and Spanish. So basically these are three official languages in G20 Summit: English, French, and Spanish. These three are official languages. So which city hosted G20 Summit in 2022? It's Bali, which is located, which is capital of Indonesia, Bali. Which G20 member has the largest economy? The United States, where first G20 meeting summit had happened. And which country has the smallest economy in the G20? It's South Africa. How many delegations are there who participated in G20 Delhi Summit? So there are 43 delegations. What is the G20's total GDP? So G20's total GDP is approximately 80% of the world's GDP. Means who are the countries of G20? That is 20 countries. So is these 20 countries total GDP is counting 80% of the total world's GDP. Who was the host leader in the first G20 summit? So first G20 summit was held in USA, and at that time the president of USA was George W. Bush. Then what percentage do the G20 countries contribute to global trade? So there are 20 countries in G20 summit, and their contribution to trade, world's trade, is 75%. What percent do the G20 countries contribute to the world's land area? That is 60%. So total world's land area is 100. So out of that, 60% land area is covered by those countries who are members of G20 summit. Which alliance was launched at the G20 New Delhi Summit for development and adoption of sustainable biofuels? Biofuels, Global Biofuel Alliance. So biofuels like biodiesel. So this alliance is launched at G20 Summit in New Delhi. Next is, during the G20 Summit at New Delhi, a group of countries agreed upon the construction of which rail and shipping corridor? So India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, that is IMEC. India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC. So this is a project. So it consists of railroad, ship to rail networks, and road transports across two corridors. First is the Eastern Corridor connecting India to Arabian Gulf, and the second is the Northern Corridor connecting the Gulf to Europe. So this is an international architecture that is going to be in commencement in future project. So there are lots of agendas related to sustainable development that had happened. Its discussion had happened in G20 Summit. So I will come up with more such questions in next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you. Please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.